This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, your all-in-one platform for building a professional online presence. Whether you're starting fresh or growing your brand, Squarespace makes it simple to create stunning websites, connect with your audience, and sell anything all in just one place. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/wine for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/wine to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Can we talk about how gynecologists need some more foreplay?
Yes.
I would like a compliment first. I want them to open up the curtain and be like, wow, what sweet
Ooh, that's
smell.
nice. And then they give you a massage. Welcome to Wine About It.
Welcome to Wine About It.
It's been so much time.
1 week since you looked at me. 2 weeks and about 4 weeks and then looked at me. And then you freaking looked at me.
Like and subscribe.
Hey, I have to say something early on in this episode. Bozos. This is a bozo alert. Listen up. Don't be in the comments saying to me, dang cutie, so many ad reads. Yes, there are ad reads. Yes, I do want my bag and eat it too. You know what you should do? Go to the Patreon. There's no ads on the Patreon.
True.
You're never interrupted to your goon sesh on the Patreon. Okay, disclaimer, Maya would not like any gooning happening.
It has been a solid 6 weeks since we've sat down and recorded a pod like this. How do we even do this? What do we even say? What's going on?
Yeah. What's the 411? What's a hot goss? There's so much going on. We are new to this for sure. I hope you guys liked the guest episodes.
The guest episodes, they're really good. I'll say it.
Go back and watch. They're very unique. Each one its own snowflake, someone said.
We did Jason, we did Cinna, we did Quarter Jade, we did Pokimane, we did Lily Pichu. In one go, Sweet and Sour Pod. In one go, we're the big time. The Garden.
Yeah, big time. Kind of famous. And we'll do it again. We'll have guest weeks sometimes.
Did you miss us though? Maybe? In these
I don't know if they did.
In our remote settings, in our beautiful sets that we work so hard on and have developed and really changed and rebranded recently.
We've got to talk.
You may notice. First of all,
as a family,
the good news is I have fixed my lighting. And I swear if all the comments are like, Maya's lighting still sucks, I will be upset because I worked very hard on this. Okay? So that's a good thing. The bad thing is I also changed this curtain and it's ugly. We thought it'd be a good idea and it's not. It's ugly.
It is ugly. We were trying to have matching backgrounds and you know what? That's a 2025 angle. Okay. We're going to have cool backgrounds in 2025. I can promise the investors that now. However, we did try to have matching curtains. As you can tell, it looks cheap. And as you can tell, my curtain's not up because they looked very different on both of our cameras. Yeah. And then I was like, what's the point? But we did get matching chairs.
Yeah, they're nice. I really like the chair.
Thank goodness we got matching chairs.
So you guys definitely can notice that.
Yeah.
Do you like your chair? We've never talked about it. I really like it.
I'm a bit of a chair fiend, as you can tell. I've got this chair, that chair. I have another chair in that.
You can sit.
I used to have another chair in that
It's
corner.
a really wide chair. You can sit.
I got my normal computer chair.
I'm thriving. So yes, we did try to change our backgrounds. No, it did not work. If you guys have better ideas, let us know because we have been unsuccessful so far. We are making lots of changes to Wine About It in 2025. We're rebranding. Surprise.
To the name. Hear me out. Buckle up.
It's gonna be sick.
Wine About It.
It's gonna be sick. We're changing our backgrounds. We are changing our logo and our banners. So you'll see those very soon.
Yes.
We have a new, drum roll please, social media manager, and his name.
No one has told Prezzo he's fired, but
right.
I feel fine doing it here publicly.
Should we DM him before this comes out?
Prezzo, you're fired. Nah, I like him finding out this way.
Prezzo, we're firing Prezzo in 2025, and we are bringing on, drumroll please, Young Jeff, the rapper. He's going to take us to new heights. Brace yourselves.
Yeah.
And then we are doing new merch that's actually good.
Should be out, honestly, probably by next week's episode. You'll have merch, everybody. Not to freak you out, but I feel pretty confident saying that.
Oh,
get it in time for Christmas. Yeah. Or, there's gifted on the Patreon. You need a gift this Christmas? Gift your little old lover a subscription to the Wine About It Discord, tier 3, so they can get
gift it to your lover, even if they don't know who we are.
Yes, guerrilla marketing, you guys. Listen, we want to be the next Hawk Tua.
And then Patreon things.
Lots of Patreon things. Speaking of that tier 3, guess what? This is new. We're lowering the price, everybody. Why the heck did we ever make it $30? Wow. What
From
are we,
$30
freaking
to
Daddy Warbucks over here?
I don't know. We're sending out Christmas cards this year to tier 3s.
So any tier 3s that subscribe during the month of December, you are going to get a signed Christmas card from me and Maya. It'll be shipped out in January, obviously, because that's January 1st. As long as you are subscribed, it'll get shipped out to you. A cute little Christmas card, maybe even a Hanukkah card or two, a Kwanzaa card. Who knows?
We are adding, we've already filmed. It was a huge success. We're adding gaming to the Patreon now.
It was.
So Cutie and I are gaming together.
Tier 2.
On Patreon. We tried to play a game, but then realized it was single player. So then we had to, but we figured it out and we did game.
Not bad.
We have gaming content. Yeah. And it's going out on the Patreon.
I can't wait to game again.
And then we also have book club, which I feel like we don't talk about enough. Nobody talks about book club enough. We have a book club with
talk about book club more.
Cutie, Ludwig, Slime, Nick. That's all. And is Nick even a part of the book club anymore? I think so. And we do a meeting once a month on the Wine About It Patreon, and we talk about the book that we read. And we've read 3 books now. Cutie's pick was really spicy, and that meeting is coming up next week. It's about it's a Playboy book about the daughter of the Playboy Mansion psychiatrist that just gave everybody drugs, and how she grew up in the Playboy Mansion. And it is a crazy narrative. You still have time, especially if you audiobook it, to read that and be there for the meeting.
It's a quick book. It's a quick read.
And then Call-In Confessions is starting on the Patreon as well. If you love to live vicariously through other people's drama, you can listen to them confess all their drama on the Patreon. Thank you for coming to the business portion of this meeting.
Wait, a final recap for all of those that got lost. Remember, you can join the Patreon for free for weekly highlights. You can join tier 1 for a bonus episode as well as participation in... Ew, hair on my finger. In the book club. Tier 2, you get everything I've listed above, but a bonus of Call-In Confessions, gaming, and trash TV. And then tier 3, you get all of the above, plus a recipe card, an art print from Maya.
And Christmas cards this year.
And Christmas cards.
Signed Christmas cards this year.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a little note in a few of them. Hopefully you get lucky and get a note
stickers.
One. Oh, stickers. That's what it was. I was like, I'm forgetting something that tier 3s get. Tier 3, you get stickers every month. You're part of the sticker club. So, and it's lowered by $5. $5 cheaper, everybody. Things are crazy over here. We're really doing it big besides our backgrounds. We can't seem to figure that out. 2025 angle investors.
I also changed my microphone. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah.
So, I declared the business portion of the meeting adjourned. Let's talk goss.
Adjourned.
How's it going?
Okay. Well, we've got to start with some women's health. Who's ready to hear about vaginas?
Me. I love vaginas.
Can we talk about how gynecologists need some more foreplay?
Yes.
I would like a compliment first.
Gynecologists, for those of you who don't know, are vagina doctors.
Like, I want them to open up the curtain and be like, wow, what sweet
that's
smell.
Nice. And then they give you a massage and some lube.
They go, wow, no, not a massage on your vagina. No. I just think I understand it's a medical situation, but my goodness, sometimes you leave the gynecologist feeling so violated.
Where do you want to like tell this whole story? Is that
your
plan? Okay, great.
I plan on that.
Okay.
I also think like something I think about sometimes is, do you ever wonder, because like doctors goss. Let's not pretend they don't goss.
Oh, and you think they go back and they're like, that girl's vagina was crazy.
Because all of us, you're always on this cope before you go. Like, I called Maya before I went to the gyno and was like, crap, I have to shower and
I told
shave.
her don't.
And she was like,
I said, who cares? It's a doctor. No. You don't need to shave for your gynecologist. I know this is a hot take and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but it is a doctor. They have to see you biologically.
I put glitter down there. I say, I hope you enjoy yourself.
And objectively. I think that is unnecessary. You should not worry about what your vagina looks like when you go to see a gynecologist.
I vajazzle it. Do you know what that is?
I can guess what that is.
So I pull up with a nice vajazzle and I see what my gyno has to say. No, I just wonder sometimes, because all of us will be on cope and we'll be like, girl, don't worry. It's a gyno. They see 1,000 vaginas a day. And it's like,
I don't think that's cope.
But what if?
If you think a gynecologist leaves the room and they're like, ugh,
like,
that's
been
crazy.
One funky one. You know why I know this is true?
Even if it is, they have to see it. It's their job to think of it in clinical terms and be like, there's a bacterial infection. That's where the smell comes from. There's a bah. Like, they're not like, ew, yuck.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. But I remember, so I have this friend I had this friend who was a waxer. And I was like, have you ever seen anything crazy?
Waxing is different though, because it's cosmetic.
I know. But she was like, yeah, one time this girly pop came in and the smell was so bad that I had to ask. I had to say, girl, have you been to a doctor recently? And she said, what are you talking about? And she was like, girl to girl, something is funky.
That's nice.
And like, I don't know what it is. And she was like, oh, I think it's because I never wipe.
Well, okay.
And my friend said, what now? And she was like, I always drip dry, which I'll tell you something about vaginas. You can't drip dry. There's lots of folds.
Why would she admit that? Like, what a crazy thing to say that you do.
Maybe she never had an older sister. No one to tell her. I will say my older sister never told me.
No, because then she knows that she knows that people wipe. She's just like, oh, I don't do that. I opt out of wiping.
Maybe she's an environmentalist.
You got me there.
And she's trying to spread the word. She's trying to convert.
Paper. Did you know that?
Or she's a Scientologist.
I don't think that has anything to do with drip drying a vagina.
I don't know. I don't have proof that it doesn't.
I don't either.
There's reusable toilet paper?
Yeah. It's like scraps of fabric that you roll into a roll, and you just pull off a scrap of fabric and then you wash them all.
You know, as a kid, one time, it was after learning how to reduce, reuse, recycle. I go home, I go to the bathroom, I go pee, and I go, I should just use a towel because then it'll get washed. And so I use a towel and I start using towels. And I'm like 6 or some shit. And then one time I walk in the living room, my mom is ripping my brother a brand new asshole saying, why do you keep leaving skid marks on all the towels? Stop it. And I was like,
and you let it, you didn't confess? You let him get in trouble for that?
No, yeah.
Did you ever used to...
I said, that's weird. You're doing that.
Did you ever used to suck the water out of towels in the bathtub?
Yeah.
Why did we do that? Because it was nice.
I would still do it.
Tastes like laundry detergent.
It's really satisfying.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
We should do that like together, like as an activity.
I don't want to do it together. I don't want to look you in the eyes while I suck water out of a towel.
Okay. Nobody said anything about the eye contact. I just mean like For the nostalgic experience, we could take a bath in swimsuits and then with hand towels, and we could suck on the water. That's it.
Don't say what you don't mean. You would never do this with me.
You're right. Yeah, I can't imagine a world where I would do that.
She's lying for attention.
So anyway, your gynecologist. You shaved, you vajazzled, you got there. She pulled up the curtain of your skirt and she got blinded by the sequins and glitter. And she's like, wow.
She was like, whoa.
That one's awesome.
And then I said to her, have you ever heard of the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints?
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Just so you don't forget, Squarespace is the perfect all-in-one platform to help you grow your brand and stand out online. With design intelligence, Squarespace combines years of design expertise with cutting-edge AI, helping you craft a website tailored to your unique vision. Plus, Squarespace Payments makes managing transactions seamless, offering options like Apple Pay and Klarna to keep things easy for you and your customers. And with Blueprint AI, you can create a custom on-brand website within just minutes. Amazing. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/wine, that's WINE, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Again, go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, you can head to squarespace.com/wine, WINE, to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace.
No, okay. So this is get ready. And there's so many ladies that are going to be in the comments and they're going to be like, Brother Bear, here we go. A friend of a friend was like, you've got to go to this gyno. Because I'm not from LA, so I'm still learning. Okay. You've got to go to this gyno. She's amazing. She does all the A-listers and celebrities and all this stuff. And she's incredible. But she doesn't take insurance. And I'm like, but... like, you know, if she's good, she's good. And with healthcare, sometimes it's worth, like, of all things to spend money on, it is healthcare and Taylor Swift concert tickets.
That's what they say. It. The American dream.
Yeah. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. Just because, like, I have some hormonal issues that I feel comfortable talking about. Number one, I can't lose weight for the life of me. No matter what diet I go on, no matter how much I work out, it seems like nothing works. And it's like incredibly frustrating because I'll see Ludwig cut out soda and lose 20 pounds. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I also have started growing little like chin hairs and losing hair on my head. And at first I would like tell my friends about this and they'd be like, oh, I get a chin hair every once in a while. And I'm like, I have to like pluck every other day. Like it's intense. Like this doesn't feel normal. And also like my hair on my head has always been really thin, but it'll just fall out in clumps, especially when I'm stressed. So I'm like, something is just wrong with me. And I have really painful periods and all sorts of stuff like that. So plus I was just due for a pap smear. So I said, okay, let's go in. Let's go to this lady. Came with raving reviews. First of all, I go in and you always have to wear a medical gown, which is like normal, whatever. But usually they put a little cloth on your lap. So when they open you up,
bare minimum to put a cloth over your lap. Setting scene, you like lie down, right? On like a medical, like on a bench. And then are you in stirrups at this point? Okay, so you put your feet in stirrups so they're spread like when you give birth. And then you have to put a cloth at your waist so that you can't see the doctor going up in there. And they didn't give her a cloth.
Yeah. So first of all,
also important note, was the big light on?
The big light was on. Big lights on. The best gyno I've ever been to dimmed the light, had a headlamp.
Me too. I mean, that's what my gyno did.
Incredible.
In college.
Thank you, bitch. That's amazing. Thank you. Like, oh my God, respectful. So this, number one, I'm like sitting there. I'm sitting on the chair. I'm telling her my problems. I'm like, this is my problem. This is my problem. And she kept being like, are your periods irregular? And I kept being like, no. Besides, like, sometimes I have cramps, sometimes I don't. But besides that, they're like really consistent. And she's like, okay. And so she's like, okay, get on the bench. And I'm like, okay. So I go and I sit on the bench and she goes, scoot, 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 like scoot down. I'm like, should my feet be up? And she's like, yeah, I'm wearing my Crocs still. I said, should I take my shoes off? She's like, no, it's fine. So I'm like, my Crocs are like in the stirrups. I'm like wiggly around and she's like, scoot, scoot, scoot. She just throws open the gown. The big light is on. Her PA is just like pacing back and forth, grabbing gadgets and gizmos. And I'm like, Coochie, the whole wall next to me is a mirror. There's a mirror wall next to me, so I can't even look at the wall. Like, it's just like,
why? Why would there be a giant mirror in a gyno?
I don't know. It's such a weird decorative choice, but you know, I was told she was nice, and I'm just trying to go with the flow. And I'm like, okay, dokie. It's like, this is a lot to take in. And so I'm trying not to look. I'm doing anything not to look. If you don't know how the gyno works, which maybe you're a man, you better listen, because you got to learn about half the population right here.
I just did a speculum.
You got your coochie. It's a circle. You got a speculum. Imagine scissors
big
without any sharpness on it. They put that in the hole. They go, open the scissors. It goes, so they can see into the cave of wonders. And then they do an echo test. They say, woo. If they can hear an echo, you're good. If not, you're pregnant. So they open you up. They look into the cave of wonders. For a pap smear, they take a wired brush. They shove it in there. They go,
okay, chill. It's not a wire brush. Sounds like they're gonna think like stainless steel.
That is what it is.
Grill brush.
Look it up.
I have never had a wire brush.
Girl,
up there.
that's
no
what
world.
they do for pap smears.
Gyno.
What brush?
Wire brush.
Do they use for pap smears?
Oh, okay, like a little lash brush.
Yeah, but it's wired.
When I imagine wire brush, I think like grill cleaning, like.
Oh, that's what it feels like.
Wire brush.
I'll tell you that much. That's what it freaking feels like. They get up there. She does the Q-tip of doom.
They swab your cervix.
And then she's like, she kept saying which we do think I have PCOS. For the record, I have 90% of the symptoms. She's probably got PCOS, you know? So she's like, since we think you have PCOS, let's do an ultrasound. So for an ultrasound, they take essentially a dildo looking thing, but it's a camera, and they put some lube on it and they go, and then they look around and you're like, ooh, okay. And she does that and that's fine. And then she pulls it out and she goes, well, you don't have any cysts. So that's a good sign, because cysts suck and they can cause lots of problems. But that's like one of the biggest visual symptoms of PCOS. She's like, you don't have any cysts, but I'm comfortable diagnosing with PCOS based on literally you having every other symptom in the book. And plus, like, one of the symptoms is depression, which, you know, we've got. Another symptom is like higher levels of testosterone, which I've got a beard. So yeah. And then another big symptom is history of diabetes in your family, which nearly every single person in my family is type 1 diabetic. Like, I am one of the few that is not. So it's like, oh, well, at the moment, long story short, my family has this very rare type of type 1 diabetes, which is called monogenic diabetes, that sometimes you get diagnosed later in life. So everyone thinks it's type 2, but it's actually type 1. It's the whole thing. So I could have it. We just don't know yet. Anyway, so she's like, I feel comfortable diagnosing you with PCOS. And I say, okay, what does that mean? And she says, well, we need to start you on an insulin drug. It's called metformin. You're going to take that once in the morning and once at night. And I said, for how long? And she said, for the rest of your life. And I said, oh, because I have a fear of taking pills. That's one of my things. It's one of my quirks. Some people like it about me. At this point, I'm starting to get overwhelmed. I'm starting to get a little dizzy, girl. I'm sitting on the chair, just exposed to the world, getting a little dizzy. And then she goes, also a supplement that you need to take once a day before your biggest meal of the day. And I go, okay, great. It's like this drink thing you add to your drink. And then she goes, also, when I was in there doing your ultrasound, I saw some tiny endo polyps. And I said, what are those? And she said, they're polyps that form in your uterus when you have too much estrogen in your uterus. And we need to remove them because I'm looking into like freezing my eggs. If you want to freeze your eggs, you need to remove them, because when you go to freeze your eggs, we pump you full of estrogen. And so those polyps will get bigger and you'll be in so much pain. And so it's better just to remove them now, put in a progesterone IUD, because progesterone is a hormone that diminishes estrogen. Leave that progesterone IUD up there for 4 months, calm everything down, go in again, remove the progesterone IUD, and then you can freeze your eggs. But we have to do that surgery first before we can put in the IUD. Me, very dizzy now, because I'm also afraid of surgery.
Yeah. Number one fear, by the way, guys. Like more than...
like I would rather fly to Tokyo and back. Yeah.
Is anesthesia. Yeah.
So I say, ooh, do I have to be put under for this? Because she's like, it's super minimal. It's just a scope that goes up and scrapes out these things. Bada, bada, bing, bada, boom. I say, do I have to be put under that for that? She goes, absolutely. I go, is it a pain thing? Because like I've done an endoscopy not sedated. I did my wisdom teeth not sedated. I can do it. I can do it. And she goes, you just absolutely have to be sedated. And I'm like, okay, let me pray on this. And then she goes, let's do your blood work. I say, okay. They take my blood work as I'm leaving. They say, let's get you scheduled for that surgery so we can fit you in before Christmas. We can only do this day. You have to pay in full. It's $12,000. If you don't show up, it's non-refundable. And I'm like, I am too overwhelmed. I'll call later is what I said. I said, I'll call back. I'm so stressed. And also...
How long were you there?
Like an hour.
Oh my God.
And...
Okay.
I'm dizzy at this point. She also said, since you have PCOS and endometriosis, you're probably infertile.
Dude.
And I'm like...
Yeah.
I don't even know if I want kids. I just want the choice. Arrest me, officer. And that's why I'm like freezing my eggs, is so like, you know, I can have that choice responsibly when I'm ready for that choice. So I'm like, okay, great. So part of the blood work, they do an egg count and also the hormones and all this stuff. So the next day they call me. Pap smear's normal. Great. We're good there. My testosterone is really high, which apparently the supplement would help with that.
So your testosterone's high, but your estrogen is also high?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. But my estrogen is only high in my uterus, but nowhere else.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Okay.
I don't know. And then let's book the surgery. And I said, listen, I really can't do this. I really can't do anesthesia. You don't understand. And I said, I can't do it. They said, okay, like, you know, I'll talk to the doctor. I'll call you back. So I get home, I start Googling stuff because I'm like, this is overwhelming. I need to like start going checklist by checklist by check. I call Maya. I'm crying. We do, I do my normal rounds of crying and freaking out and say I want to call my mom and she doesn't answer. And so then I Google metformin that she wants to put me on. Turns out it's just
Google
Ozempic.
this too. Hold on. How do you spell it? Is it literally metformin?
Metformin. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like it's not off-brand. Ozempic, it's like another brand of a weight loss drug.
It's like another type. Yeah. I mean, it does have, like, again, there is a very high possibility that I have some form of diabetes / insulin resistance. Like, yes, it's true. But I would like to have that tested and told to me instead of just being like, hey, let's put you on this drug that you have to take for the rest of your life. Good luck. They're like, I know nothing about. I don't know any of the side effects. I don't know anything about this.
Metformin is an oral pill, while Ozempic is a once-weekly injection. Huh.
Yeah.
Ozempic is a brand name drug, while metformin is a generic drug. Huh.
Yeah.
So like what you said, like ibuprofen versus Advil or something.
Yeah. Name something more Hollywood than showing up to a gyno and the first thing they say to you is, don't worry.
Take Ozempic.
I got you. Because that's what I'm starting to feel right now. I'm like, that's not, when I went in there and I'm saying, hey, I'm struggling to lose weight. Like, I'm not saying that one liner as a buzzword to try to get Ozempic. I'm saying that as in like, clearly something's off because,
yeah,
you know, and maybe again, if you have PCOS,
you also don't have to like angle for Ozempic. Can't you just go ask for it?
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I clearly have some, like PCOS, you most likely have insulin resistance, but there's other ways to like combat that than just like jump to drugs right away. And, you know, like it just felt a little kooky beans. And so I'm like, okay, chill. So then I Google the supplement that she recommended I order right away and take every single day. I go to the supplement website. She is the owner and creator of this supplement.
Okay. And you're buying it?
She didn't mention any of that. Yeah.
How much is it?
It is a monthly subscription of $87.
Oh my God. You didn't tell me that part.
I mean, the thing is, I have showed the supplement to other people that have PCOS, because at this point I've had a lot of people reach out to me about PCOS, or like I've reached out and whatever. And I've showed the supplement to people and people are like, you know what? This supplement actually doesn't look bad. Like, it looks like it could have some benefits. Like, maybe you should try it anyway. And I'll talk about it again a little later. But the weird thing is that she didn't tell me that she's the creator of it.
Oh my God. Okay. And then continue the story. Okay, so
it's Hollywood,
when
baby.
QB calls me crying and she's like, I need surgery. I'm infertile. Whatever. I need an IUD. And I was just like, pause. Like, who is this doctor? You need to get a second opinion. Like, you need to go to another one. And then you go to another one that does take insurance.
Well, wait.
This episode is sponsored by Aura Frames. Finding the perfect gift is a hunt, right? Sometimes it's got to be personal, but not like over the top. Here's the thing. You've got tons of photos from this year, holidays, vacations, first day of school, but how do you share them all? That's where an Aura digital frame comes in. Imagine your parents or your in-laws flipping through pictures of the kids on their first day, throwbacks to old family memories, or even those hilarious candid moments. It's thoughtful, it's easy, it's the perfect way to say I love you. Named #1 by Wirecutter, Aura Frames makes it incredibly easy to share unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. And when you give an Aura Frame as a gift, you can personalize and preload it with a thoughtful message and photos using the Aura app, making it an ideal present for long distance loved ones. It's a gift so special they'll use it every day. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using the promo code WINE at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code WINE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions may apply.
So then I also Googled this surgery that they're telling me to get. Sure enough, everything says you can do it without anesthesia. Like, even Caroline, who I call crying, is like, oh, I've had that done. And they just did it in office. It was like, felt like a period cramp. It sucked, but like, yeah, they didn't do any sort of sedatives. And I'm like, motherfuckers. And then, sure enough, the next day, this doctor's office calls me and they're like, oh, yeah, we can do it. No anesthesia. Let's just get it booked. And I'm like, you little jerks. Okay.
So why did she say that? Because it costs more money to be put under?
I don't know. So, well, someone gave me an idea as to why. So Maya says, get a second opinion. Everyone in the world says, get a second opinion. My gut obviously says, get a second opinion. So I get Caroline gives me a suggestion, a recommendation for a gyno. And so I go to that person, and he, this day started awful. So I show up to the parking garage. I think I might have lightly told you this. I show up to the parking garage. I get out. It's valet because everything in LA is valet. And he's like, where's your car? Where's your key? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's still in the car. I can't lock I'm like, it's in the car somewhere. I'm already running late. Like, I can't find it. He's like, that's fine. You just have to leave a credit card or an ID with us. I don't have it. I don't have my wallet. And he goes, well, how are you going to pay for parking? I was like, Apple Pay. He was like, we don't accept that. And I said, okay, I'll move my car. And so I go to move my car and I'm already so overwhelmed and I'm running late that I just start crying.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. And then I walk into the gyno's office because I park down the street. I leave my key in the car because I can't find it. And I need to go to this gyno because I think, oh, that was the other thing. They said that these polyps could maybe be cancerous.
Oh, right. It was like,
and so you have to have them removed.
She was deciding between anesthesia, her biggest fear, and cancer. Because it was like,
my other fear.
If you don't get put under to get the surgery, your chance of cancer is higher or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like overwhelmed. I need a second opinion. I'm like really stressed and I just don't know what the right answer is. And so then, I'm crying and I can't find my key in my car. It's somewhere under a thing or something. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it. If it gets stolen, whatever. And I like text Ludwig. I'm like, my car might get stolen. I don't know, but I had to go to this appointment because I think I'm going to die. I go to the appointment. They're like, we need your ID. I don't have it. I start immediately crying at the desk. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I know I'm 15 minutes late. My keys in the car. Like, if I need to reschedule, I'll reschedule. I just think I might be dying.
Oh my God.
And the lady's like, it's okay. Like, do you have your records from the last doctor? I go, she didn't send me any. And I'm just like, crying.
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. And she's like, I'll call them. I'll try to get the records. I was like, thank you so much. I'm not from here. And it's just been really overwhelming. And she's like, okay. And so I go to my new doctor and I wait in there. Number one, he is a gay man. I'm obsessed with him. And he walks in and he goes, what's the sitch? And I tell him everything. And I say, I don't know what's going on. And he says, okay, well, my first question is, did she do a saline ultrasound? And I said, no, she just did a normal ultrasound. He's like, that's what it says on the record she sent over, but I was hoping it was a typo because you quite literally cannot see endopolyps in any capacity under a normal ultrasound. You have to do a saline ultrasound. And I go, well, she did a normal one. And then he goes, okay, well, let me show you something. And he pulls up ultrasounds and he shows me a normal ultrasound versus saline ultrasound and how you can see polyps versus how you can't see polyps. And he goes, she also noted that they're small and didn't take any measurements. That's very not like medical standard. Like if there is a polyp, you measure it and you take note of it and you whatever. And I said, well, she just said they were really tiny and like a normal doctor probably wouldn't see them and that she's an expert. And he goes, okay, did she say you need to be put under for the surgery? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, he just kind of does this shrug thing, which I took contextually as like, oh, maybe there's no polyps. And here's a 12K surgery. Merry Christmas. I don't know. You know, like, I don't know. And he was like, all right, well, here's the deal. We're not going to start you on any insulin drug, anything like that. I just want you to go gluten-free.
Well, he also asked, at what point did he ask if she takes insurance?
Oh, he
like,
did ask
does
if
she
takes
take insurance?
And
you're like, no. And he's like,
Yeah, there was a few of those moments that he kept saying. And I did show him, I showed him the supplement and he was like, okay, like, all right. Yeah, like maybe. But he was like, I want you to go gluten-free first. He was like, I'll be honest too, based on your medical history, yes, you have PCOS. But my first answer to PCOS is not insulin drugs. My first answer is diet, being gluten is one of the biggest like angerers of PCOS, which kind of makes sense because I've been gluten-free a few times throughout my life, even last year specifically. And I remember when I was gluten-free last year, I got a lot of compliments about how like I just looked less swollen, like not even less flat, like fat or anything like that. People just kept saying like, you look less inflamed. Like even my rosacea was like more calm. And so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And so he's like, I want you to go gluten-free first. And then for the testosterone being high, I actually just want you to have a cup of spearmint tea every day for the next 3 months. Because he was like, that'll lower your testosterone. That'll calm everything. If it doesn't, then we'll put you on like an anti-testosterone drug because the testosterone being high is a problem. You're losing hair, you're growing hair. That's a problem for your body overall and can lead to other issues. But there's like simple ways to balance that. Like even the gluten-free will help and the spearmint will help. And then in 3 months, when everything's calmed down, let's have you come in, do a saline ultrasound to see if you actually have any of these polyps. And so I say, well, if I do have polyps, do I have to remove them? And he goes, no. He goes, 9 out of 10 women have polyps.
Girls.
They have endopolyps.
You have a polyp, me have a polyp.
He said they come and they go. You only have to remove them if you're postmenopausal or if you have a history of like uterine cancer, like in your family, or like stuff like if you have very specific health histories, then yes, we remove them every single time they show up. But there is no reason to remove them in a 30-year-old woman, especially when they are, and he goes, medically listed as tiny. And I said, okay.
Okay. And then, so like the IUD thing and everything is scratched. Like he's just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then what about the fertility?
We're going to start this, come back in 3 months. He gave me 2 recommendations to 2 fertility doctors. He did say based on my blood work that my egg count is lower than we would want. And that's probably from stress and the PCOS, but that it's still definitely possible to freeze eggs and that I don't need to be panicking or thinking it's the end of the world. And we'll just start on that process. But I should relax and get through the holidays and come back in 3 months and we'll see if there's any polyps. And as long as there's actually no polyps after, being gluten-free and also spearmint tea, then we should be good. So
which is
that was
and this
fun.
one takes insurance, correct?
Yeah.
This whole story is so scary. This is obviously like just drink spearmint tea is like a totally different side of the spectrum, which is interesting. But the concept of being scammed medically is really scary.
I mean, I don't even know if it's like okay, maybe I'm like blaming I don't know if it's a scam, if someone is going there for the solution that she is offering.
But it's not like you were like, I want to lose weight, I want to be on Ozempic. Also,
I know.
You don't.
But if I am insulin resistant, then yeah, maybe I need to be on an insulin drug. But like, show me my A1C or something. Like,
They told you that a surgery is medically necessary and anesthesia is medically necessary when neither of those are medically necessary. And then that it would cost $12,000 out of pocket. That is a scam.
Okay. I just get nervous because like in medicine, everything is so everything is opinion. Like I'm even going to get a third opinion.
I think that's a great idea.
Because I think 2 versus 3 is the better option, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to do a non-California opinion. Sure. I'm going to wait until I'm back home in Washington for the holidays and I'm going to get an opinion from a doctor there, because I'll tell you something about Hollywood, baby. It's hard to find good doctors.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you're what? You're
nightmare,
and you're drinking spearmint tea and you're seeing what happens. How's it going? The same. It hasn't been that long.
I'm not very good at gluten.
Gluten's hard.
I've been really bad at it. So, and I've also been really bad at the spearmint tea. So really I haven't done anything different yet. And I'm supposed to start each of my meals with vegetables and then you go protein and then you go carbs. He said with insulin resistance, you should never start with carbs because it like spikes your insulin and all of it. He explained a lot of stuff that made sense to me at the time. But turns out I'm really bad at feeding myself and taking care of myself. And all I've done today is eat 1 coffee and a protein bar. So
that is an interesting thing that we talked about too, is like something about storing fat because you're not eating enough.
Yeah. I forget how he explained it specifically, but they actually say that people with PCOS are more susceptible to eating disorders because of the way that their body stores fat. That usually, starvation mode, you can see some results, but with like PCOS, you have to go like extreme starvation because of something to do with the insulin and the way that it holds on to fat differently. So he explained it in a much more...
You explained it to me and it made sense, but I also don't remember.
I don't remember, but I was just like, okay, so it's important to just like
eat.
Yes, like calorie deficit, especially if you're losing weight, but doing it in the correct way where you're not spiking your insulin. And then something. I mean, it's a work in progress for sure. Like I've gotten a little better. Even like we have like just vegetables laying around. So like no matter what meal I'm having, I'm trying to start with vegetables. But today has been a bad day because I woke up, got coffee, went to a meeting, went to another meeting, worked on Streamer Awards, and now I'm here. So I just simply forgot to eat.
PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome, a common hormonal condition that affects women of reproductive age. For context, women, abnormal hormone levels, but like very common, like way more common than is talked about, which sucks.
Yeah. But it seems like the diagnosis is going up a ton. And I've seen, the TikTok conspiracies that are like, but I think genuinely diagnosis is just going up because it's being talked about more.
What is the link?
I don't think that like the plastics are giving us whatever.
What is the link between PCOS and endometriosis? Or are they not necessarily linked?
They're not necessarily linked. I think endometriosis is just, Endometriosis, notoriously, what I've always heard is they can't diagnose it without surgery.
Oh.
But I don't think the endometriosis, like the endometriosis diagnosis from that woman is not something I think I have anyway. Because she kept being like, yeah, you definitely have endometriosis because you have the polyps and the irregular periods. And I kept saying, I was like, I don't have irregular periods. And she's like, oh, because the spotting in between periods. And I'm like, I don't have spotting in between periods.
Yeah. Scary.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Also just like the lack of sensitivity for you, even if you didn't have like medical sensitivities that you do. Like, even if I have no medical sensitivities really, and if I went in there, I would leave crying. If it's like
she
boom, bam in there.
Started the conversation with take your phone out. You're going to want to record this because you'll forget. So I have a whole voice memo of her telling me all these things that's wrong with me.
That's so weird.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to make. I don't know what to think about that. Besides, I don't like the way that it smells. Yuck.
It makes me tired.
Yeah. Well, getting a third opinion will be good
when I think about it.
But
it was the whole the cancer thing is what really, like, that was the most fucked up of everything. Like, oh yeah, you never know with these polyps, they could be pre-cancerous. Like, why would you say that to somebody? Like that, it feels like that feels so medically irresponsible. Like, beyond everything else, that alone was like, that's just like, it's like fear mongering. I feel like.
No, I agree. And it's when they don't take insurance and it's going to cost $12,000. Like, that's insane. I can't. I mean, they're in LA, so I guess and they have A-list clients. So there are people that are just like, sure, whatever needs to be done, I trust you. But that's just wild. Nobody can do that. It's so scary.
Right. Yeah.
I hate it. Cool to talk about it though. People are going to learn a lot from this episode. That's like really good information.
I briefly talked about it on Fear and in like a very quick way, and the comments were like slightly overwhelming with people with similar experiences / people that are diagnosed with PCOS and tips and tricks and this and that and whatever. It's so overwhelming to have, like, I don't know, when your bodies are interesting because bodies are your everything. Like, and for it to be out of your control is really shitty. And it's like my hormones aren't happy, and that's what's causing a lot of my problems. But they're not debilitating problems. Yes, I wish I could lose 10 pounds. I've wanted to lose 10 pounds for like 10 years, but my life isn't over for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have really painful periods, but like, it's okay. Like, these are things that are like, okay, but like, yes, my quality of life could be better if X, Y, and Z is solved. And the solutions to solving them is actually like pretty freaking hard. Like, they're total lifestyle changes.
What? I don't think you'll want to do, but would be kind of cool, is I bet in LA there are private chefs that will do like a PCOS diet. Cause
no, I actually want to do that.
Oh, you should do that then.
So I could learn. I know. I just haven't had time.
Well, you have an assistant. Have her look into a PCOS private chef and just like give it like a really fair go for a few months and just see, maybe it like changes your life. I don't know. I know that diet is like super important. I've seen a lot on TikTok. The source of all good information. But there are a lot of girls that have PCOS that are trying really hard on like PCOS diets. And I would be really interested to see if that
it does sound like diet is everything for it.
And it might help you lose weight too and just like feel better.
Yeah. I need to, I want to message. This is so funny. I've seen Kaide and Tens. They have this private chef that like posts their meals each week. And I've seen his stuff and I've wanted to DM him and see like how much he costs and stuff like that. And obviously I'm incredibly blessed. Not everyone no one, I would say no one has the ability to have something so incredible, like a private chef. That's crazy. And I love cooking, but like maybe they could just do Mondays through Fridays, and then I can cook on the weekends, But the thing is I'm also self-taught, and I think a lot of everyone in the whole world is like self-taught on how to feed themselves. But but I was raised in a very low income household where Hamburger Helper was the majority of our meals, or ramen, or like my mom did her best, but I definitely didn't learn
like
how to
balanced
eat
nutrition.
correctly. Like, you know, we were Doritos and microwave pizzas and anything that was cheap and quick and whatever, because my mom worked, my dad worked full time. Like, they definitely did their best, but like as an adult, I know enough, but I don't know correct. Even though like I went to culinary school for pastry. I didn't learn anything about diets. I don't learn anything like, and so even just learning the whole like, oh, you should start with vegetables and then this like is so interesting to me, because I didn't know that carbs spike your insulin. I didn't know, you know, and maybe normal people don't know that, but I just didn't know.
Yeah. I think that having the money to invest in something like that when you have a medical issue that is like so dependent on diet, I think it's a really good place to invest. Because eating, like, you, as busy as you are, eating a protein bar and a cup of coffee for the whole day when you have all this medical hormonal stuff going on is obviously not helping. And it would be sick to not have to worry about that. Yeah. I think that would be cool. Have you gotten a mammogram?
No, but apparently I should, because they've lowered the age.
And also my mom had breast cancer.
Yeah.
So I like definitely should get one. And also, my doctor told me recently there's a BRCA gene that says whether or not cancer is like in your genetics, like if it's like a heritable kind of breast cancer or if it's something else. And my mom took that test ages ago, and my doctor told me that test is like now invalid or like expired or something. So she has to redo it to see if I like have a genetic chance of getting cancer or if it's not like a inheritable type of cancer.
You can also take the test though.
Well, maybe I need to take a mammogram and take that test and find out if I'm going to get cancer.
Yeah. This is everyone's reminder. Ladies and guys that are listening, tell your freaking girlfriends. Let's get our shit checked. Also, boys, go get your
balls checked.
Prostate looked at, I suppose.
Your prostate.
Everybody get everything checked.
Yeah. We need pap smears. We need mammograms. We need prostate check. I actually don't know how men's health works. Testicular cancer, is that a thing in men? Probably.
They do that with their annual. They like grab their balls and they tell them to cough and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. You didn't know that?
No. I don't know anything about men's health.
Grab their balls. They have to look one direction and cough. Look another direction and cough.
Weird. Why?
I don't know. Oh, hi, Coots.
Hello, Coots. Looks like she has holes in her head. Maybe we should go to a men's health doctor and just like get the whole routine.
See, that's what I think
just we need. Know what it's like.
I think we need doctor's offices that are kind of like NASCAR pit stop places where you like show in and you just lay down and they go and you leave and you're like, wow.
You know what I hate the older I get that I didn't used to care about is the dentist.
Oh, really?
When I was a kid, obviously hated the dentist because all kids hate the dentist, right? And then I went through like probably ages like 16 through 21 where I was like, dentist is fine, don't care, it doesn't bother me. And all of a sudden now I'm like, I hate the dentist.
Really?
Yes.
I like the dentist. I had to get,
what do you mean?
I've always liked it.
Okay, getting your teeth cleaned, fine. Even that I hate though.
I have bad teeth.
Like fillings, like you like that? You enjoy like getting fillings.
I don't enjoy it, but it's like I'm not like, here we go.
That's very strange.
I know.
You don't mind getting like pricked for
No, I've had 3 root canals.
Oh, I haven't had any. But I had to get 4 fillings in one sitting a couple weeks ago. It was crazy. I went in there, I went through the paperwork, whatever, signed all the stuff. I sat down and she was like, man, you're getting This all happened so fast. I hate the dentist. I was like in the chair. I have the stupid glasses on. She's like, man, you're getting 4 fillings in one sitting. You're a real champ. And she was like, man, you really signed up for this? Yep, that's your signature right here. All right, sit back. We're going to put on this light, whatever. And I'm like, wait, like, I didn't sign on for that. And I did sign the paper, but I didn't realize that that's what it was for.
Yeah.
So I laid down and I was like, well, here we go. Like, I'm too scared to say, I didn't want to say anything. So I just laid there.
I'd rather get 4 fillings all at once than have to go get renumbed again and again and again.
That's true, but it was upper right, lower right, upper left, lower left. So
it's different. That's
so
crazy.
I had to get, it was all of them. So I had to get numbing on my entire mouth.
Yeah, that's
that's
insane.
The worst part is because they take a freaking needle and put numbing stuff in your gums, which is scary. The concept is scary, and I hate it.
I like when they shake your. They do this, so they try to distract you.
They didn't do that to me.
Oh, really?
No.
Sometimes when they go to put the shot in the gums, you'll have a dentist and they'll grab your cheek and kind of shake it to distract you. And I'm like, okay.
Do that. Should I ask them next time? Can you shake my cheek to distract me?
Can you shake my cheek, please? Yeah, it works.
I hate when they talk to you while they're doing shit.
They're trying to distract you.
Well, and they want you to respond how? My mouth is propped open. They also kept making fun of my small mouth.
Really?
Yes. They weren't really making fun of it, but that's what it felt like. They had a block in there, and then they were like, oh, we need to get a small block, huh? Like, you got a really small mouth. Look how small her mouth is. Wow, she really needs a smaller block in there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then every time they were like, open your mouth wider, and they were like, oh, yeah, she can't. Haha. Yeah, so I got 4 fillings. It was awesome. And I still have sensitivity in one of my teeth, so I probably have to go back. And the one that it's still sensitive for, I had to get refilled because I got it done 6 months ago. And I had to get it redone because I didn't do a good enough job, to the point where they were like, oh, but you still have the warranty on this cavity, so you won't have to pay anything for it. And I was like, I didn't even know that there were warranties on cavities. That is awful to have to get it refilled.
I hope you don't have to get a root canal. You'll hate it. It hurts so bad. Stop. And what they don't tell you about root canals, this is what's crazy. I have so many root canals, by the way. Like I said, I was raised on, I love my parents, but they did not have me brush my teeth, and they did not feed me sugar. So it was just like soda pop and like so bad. One time, the most cavities I've ever had was 18. At one time? Mm-hmm. Wow, that sucks. That's really sad. So I had like 4 different appointments. I had to go in and go. And apparently it's this new thing that people have found out, that sometimes dentists scam you and they lie and they say you have that many fillings because they could make money. And they're like, you should always get a second opinion. Oh, no. I know. It's like this new thing that everyone's pointing out. And sure enough, the most dentist I went to recently, she was like, ooh, you might be getting a cavity here. I'm going to give you some prescription toothpaste. Come back in 6 months. We'll see if it develops. I go back in 6 months. She's like, nope, no cavity. It's gone. Well, I already got them filled. I mean, you're fine. I also got 18 filled, and I don't know if I needed to get 18 filled. But I don't want a root canal. I have a really low pain tolerance. Yeah, you won't like it. Can they knock me out? Yeah, I'm serious. They can. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I will literally, if I can get knocked out, I would like to be knocked out. If you go to an endodontist, they'll knock you out for it. What the frick is an endodontist? It's a type of tooth doctor that specializes in root canals. Oh. But root canals, you get them done, they go and they extract the root of the tooth and they put some like little wires in there. Oh yeah, no. They're knocking me out. Then turns out, fast forward 5 years, sometimes you have to get your root canals redone because they left a little bit of infection in there. I'll get knocked out again. I've had 2 of my root canals redone out of my 3. Dude, I wish I was knocked out for these 4 fillings, and fillings are nothing. Really? They don't even hurt. Wow. Yes, I wish I had that mentality towards getting knocked out. But you just go a little sleepy, and you don't even know you don't know what happened. You don't have to experience it. Lots of people feel that way. I don't feel that way. Because you're scared you're not going to wake up? Yeah. I'm waking up. I'm just not going to feel anything. Wow. Isn't that what laughing gas? I got laughing gas a lot as a kid. Isn't that the same thing? No, that's not the same as getting knocked out. Why do they give you laughing gas when you're a kid, not when you're an adult? Because they give you laughing gas as a kid when it's something that's like so minor. They wouldn't give you laughing gas. You wouldn't get a root canal as an adult. As a kid, I mean.
Welcome to this episode of Wine About It, where we give you all of our medical advice that we're very qualified to distribute. You are welcome.
You're welcome. We're going to the Patreon now, where we're going to talk streamer awards. We're going to talk Jim Henson, and we're going to talk the missing woman from Hawaii that was just spotted? Question mark?
I don't know anything about any of those things except for streamer awards.
Wow.
Well, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you go get checked for cancer. Hope you go get your teeth cleaned and filled if you have cavities. And I hope you get your balls grabbed while you're coughing.
Yes.
And I hope they take a little squirt gun and they shoot the target at the back of your cervix once they put the speculum in there. And I hope they turn the big light off.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Welcome to Wine About My bangs.
You're one of the most perfect people I've ever met in my life. What? I love you. Not in like a weird
I love
way.
you. Let's get married.
How heavy is that?
It's fucking heavy.
From sweet moments to silly snaps, why keep all of your favorite photos stuck on your phone? Aura Frame, named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter, makes it effortless to share and enjoy them every day. I love how easy it is to upload photos to my Aura Frame. Now I can see all of my favorite moments without having to scroll through my phone. You can add unlimited photos and videos and invite as many people as you want to a frame. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off, Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code WINE at checkout. That's AURAframes.com, promo code WINE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply.